Go back to a time 3 years ago, actually before I was chief. So this is one of my favorite things to do. I wear through a lot of jobs in the police department, anywhere from overseeing the operation, training, discipline, but it all pales before this, because this is fun. This is really enjoyable. These officers put their life on the line every day they come to work, and it is an honor and a privilege to recognize them for everything they do for Lakewood Township. And I'm sure you're as proud of them as I am. So we have quite a few awards. We have not done this ceremony in well over a year, probably more like a year and a half. So as I said, some of these awards go back to 3 years ago. So we're going to be calling up the officers, recognizing them. I'm going to give a short synopsis of what they are getting the award for. And they will also get a medal or a ribbon to wear on their uniform to show the service that they gave for the Township of Lakewood. So without further ado, we will begin. Okay, I'd like to call up Officer Robert Lopez and Officer Summer Conklin. Just a little about why these officers are getting an award. And this is one of the older awards. This goes back to October 22nd of 2006. These officers responded to a motor vehicle accident with a head-on collision involving 6 injuries, 4 of which were possibly life-threatening. These officers extricated several injured victims, administered first aid, CPR, in complete disregard to their own safety. It was through their first aid efforts that all of the victims in this crash survived, and this really illustrates the importance of the training the officers go through on a yearly basis. They get updated and refreshed in first aid, in CPR, and on our automatic external defibrillators. So I'd like to thank these officers, and let's give them a round of applause. The next officer will be receiving the Gallantry Star. And the officers are Joseph Gregg, badge number 304, and William Butterworth, badge number 306. On September 19, 2007, these officers responded to a shots fired call on Ridge Avenue. Prior to arriving on the scene, the officers had received information that suspects involved in a shooting on Hackett and Ridge were in the area. As the officers arrived, they saw the suspects, and they knew these suspects had a history of carrying weapons. When they approached one of the suspects, he turned his back, placed a handgun in his waistband, and began to walk away. Officers ordered him to stop. He disregarded them. The officers again ordered him to remove his hands and surrender. A struggle ensued. Officers finally arrested the suspect, recovered a loaded handgun that had been used in a prior armed robbery. So, the next award is a life-saving award And it's for Officer Michael Anderson, badge number 278. On New Year's Day, 2008, Officer Anderson responded to an assist to lift at 14 Carnation Drive. Upon arrival, the officer noted that the 81-year-old victim was choking on some food that was obstructing her airway. He immediately performed the Heimlich maneuver, which dislodged the food, and the victim was able to regain breathing, definitely saving her life. The next award is the Gallantry Star, and it's for a group of officers. Officer Chris Spagnolo, badge number 255. Again, Mike Anderson, badge number 278. Rob Lopez again, 279. Officer Summer Cunliffe, 285. And Kevin Doyle, badge number 303. January 8th, 2008, these officers responded to a domestic violence call, which is potentially one of the most dangerous calls that we respond to. This one involved a murder and a suicide right here on Ocean Avenue. Officers were involved in all aspects of first aid, protecting innocent bystanders, and a standoff with an armed adversary. Due to the stressful and dangerous situation that the officers were placed in, the protection and the integrity of the crime scene, the officers also ensured that no further loss of life occurred, and this was all due to the officers' actions and to their bravery. The next award is for meritorious service, and it's for officers Kevin Sunath and Joseph Gregg. Also, we have Exceptional Service Award for the same incident for Detective Sergeant John Stillwell and Officer William Butterworth. October 24th, 2008, these officers were attempting to serve an arrest warrant for a subject wanted for violation of a restraining order. When confronted by the officers, the subject produced a large butcher knife and advanced towards the officer. After a short struggle with the armed adversary, officers arrested him and secured the weapon without any serious injury to themselves or to the officers, but the officers did sustain minor injuries. So here you have an incident where an officer most likely could have drawn his weapon and fired, but they chose another way, so it had a happy ending. So, Officer Jonathan Wilson, 289, and Officer Sean Moore, 302, for the Exceptional Service Award. standing ovation is well deserved.